Hello my fellow whale watchers, welcome to another hangar review. This time we will look at this Master League 1 hangar of one of my subscribers on Steam. A bit of additional information: he likes Speak and Rush and would like to know what would be the best use of his silver. In the background he's leveling up a luchador with cinders and grom. Furthermore, he has a few bots and weapons in storage, for example a Fenrir, an Erebus and a Hawk. Alright, so let's have a look at your setups. The Blitz is still a great robot, but if you want to be cost effective with your silver, keep in mind that whenever you use the Blitz you need 4 light weapons for it. And this is very expensive for the firepower that you get out of it compared to other builds. Compare that for example to a Typhon or a Behemoth. But apart from this, the Blitz is still a valid and good bot, also in Champion League. Your Fafnir is MK3 and it's quite unfortunate that it got nerfed. However, it's still useful. You just need to play it a bit more conservatively these days, and it cannot really be used as an effective beacon capper anymore. It just got too slow after the 7.9 rebalance, as you may also see on the Steam platform very soon. The Hirochi is still viable, and so is the Scorpion, and of course the Harpy. So in short, these are very good bots for Master League, and they can also bring you into Champion League if you like them. Let's have a quick look at your weapons and modules. The Blitz with 4 Skulls, interesting setup together with Nuclear Amplifier, Last Stand and Nitro unit. You run it with a well-leveled Clive Vicious pilot, which is still the strongest pilot for the Blitz. In short, it's a very good build. However, as mentioned before, keep in mind that you need to level up 4 Skulls in order to have comparable firepower to, for example, an Hirochi with 2 Incinerators. Also, a bit of optimization potential. Every module slot that you equip is a choice, and I'm not sure if a Nitro unit is the most effective choice for a Skald Blitz, because the Skulls make a support damage dealer out of it, which usually should not engage too much in brawls. So I would consider to, for example, switch the Nitro unit with one of the Nuclear Amplifiers on the Fafnir. Like this, you could also compensate a bit for the Fafnir nerf to come, and the Skulls would charge up much faster. The Fafnir setup with Skadis and Venoms is good. Skadis provide you 600 meter range damage and the Venoms has close range backup. After the rebalance, of course, Skadis will be a lot less effective, so if you can get your hands on 2 Rastors somehow, this is probably the strongest build for the Fafnir at the moment. The Hirochi with Hails, it's another classic build with 2 Nitro units. I assume that this is your Beacon Rush starting bot, which is fine, together with the Overdrive. After the rebalance, also Hails and the Hirochi will be affected unfortunately, so I would suggest consider to move your Overdrive to another robot and add an additional layer of survivability, for example by a Battleborn module, a Last Stand or a Cloaking unit. The same applies to your active module. It will be difficult to bring down Hirochis with 2 Hails after the nerf, so consider to change this for example to a healing unit. The Harpy, based on your pilot level, this is your newest build, and the Incinerator Scorcher is one of the strongest setups for it. You run Yang Li, 2 Nuclear Amplifiers and an Overdrive. If you level this further up, this will be a very effective support damage dealer. The Scorpion with Scatter Havocs is also a very classic build with a well-leveled Ash, some heavy armor kits and an additional cloaking unit. Looks good. This is still a very powerful build. Finally, your Titan. The Muramets with Bulavakistan is a great support Titan. You run it with 2 quantum sensors, so you must be really hating other Muramets Titans. You mentioned that you are building a Luchador in the background. Be aware that the Luchador is not one of the best Titans when it is at very low level. The Muramets at low levels performs better, and the reason is that the Luchador is a brawler, so be careful. When you bring it too early into your main hangar, it will die quite quickly if played too aggressively without healing support. It's definitely a learning curve. So your question was, what would be most cost effective for your silver? Your preferred game mode is Speak and Rush, so what I'm a bit missing in your hangar is brawling power. In your battles, I think that you're a great supporter, but in certain situations, for example when your opponents threaten to take a beacon, and you need to jump in for preventing them to do so, you should have something powerful in your hangar to do the job. This could be your Blitz with brawling weapons or a tank with great firepower. You mentioned that you have a Fenrir in your storage, and when I look at your hangar, you already have a lot of stuff that you could put on that Fenrir actually. So if you would do a bit of scavenging from the Fafnir and the Scorpion, the only things that you would need are the Bernadette Wolf pilot and the reasonable heavy weapon. So I would recommend you to go for it, simply because in Champion League you will need it anyways. Weekend rush battles without dedicated brawlers and tanks will lower your win rate and average damage quite a bit. In case you want to keep using the hangar as it is, I would recommend you to level up a couple of weapon sets. The Incinerator and the Scorcher got a buff in the recent rebalance, so that would be first on my list. And because we just spoke about brawling firepower, it cannot be wrong to show some love to your Sonics too. So this concludes my hangar review of this Master League hangar. In case you would like to have your hangar to be reviewed as well, in this video's description you find a tutorial and how you can apply. Thanks for listening again and see you on my channel.